Hello, this is Neurovoider. It is a twin-stick shooter, and we're going to play it. So first thing about Neurovoider, there are classes. 3 to be precise. There is the Dash, who is fast but weak. There is Rampage, who is basically the middle of the road. And there's Fortress, who has a dumb ability but gets a lot of good equipment and can take a lot of damage, and is also super boring to play. So we're going to be Dash, because he's the most fun, I think. We also get to choose a skill. There are 27 skills. They range from teleportation to making melee stronger to making energy consumption less harsh. I'm going to pick self-repair. That one will restore some of my health if I need it. And then we get to choose an area. Areas come in size, elites, and loot. Elites are enemy types. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. So generally, you want to go where the most loot is. So as a dashy guy, we start out with a pretty basic gun. It can fire 3 shots. Its range isn't great. But we also have a melee weapon, which is very dangerous to use. Melee weapons are typically really strong, but also have the chance of getting you killed, because you should never let enemies next to you. But that's what we're stuck with for now. So the plot of Neurovoider is that robots have taken over the Earth, and they are now throwing a sweet dance party. And you, as a human brain, escape from your confinement and decide to be a giant buzzkill and destroy all their speaker systems. Also, I'm not kidding, that's the plot. That's it. Which, honestly, makes you kind of a jerk. So you notice enemies are color-coded. There are white enemies, which are harmless, teal enemies, which are champions, elites, which are yellow, and super elites, which are red. The elites and super elites are the big guys. Elites can also come in some other colors like purple and I think one other one. Enemies also drop loot, which also comes color-coded, I think in roughly the same scale. Purple loot is the best loot, with blue being the second best. And now that we got the reactor, we can get out of here. So during intermission, we can check out all the stuff we picked up. For instance, we picked up a new vision component, which is better than our old one, so we can equip it. And then we will scrap all the other ones, which is how you make money in this game. Scrap can be used to boost your items, although we're not going to do that quite yet. We can also check out what guns we got. And we can even test them and see how they work. Like, I think we're going to use that thing. Although that's pretty good too. We'll stick with the melee weapon on the other one. So let's roll. Metaverses are special levels. They can give you the highest loot, but they have special modifiers like this one will self-destruct, so you have to beat it in 3 minutes. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is reboot this, which you can do once for free. And this is a better metaverse, so let's go there. Super elites aren't really that hard to deal with. You also might have noticed there was a little skull over this level. That means my nemesis is here. You get a nemesis when you die, and on your next run, at the level you died at, there is an enemy that has all your stuff. You if you beat them, you can get it back. I died very early the last time I recorded, so we should be around here somewhere. Also, this gun is way better. The main reason you want to hit the metaverse is because basically the best loot spawns there. For instance, I just picked up a purple thing, and that's going to be pretty great probably. Purple thing, of course, made of both sugar, water, and purple. One thing I should also mention is that this game works off of EP. You notice my EP meter in the top right. Whenever I take any action, whether it be dashing, shooting, or using melee, that makes me lose EP. And when I lose all my EP, then I have to spend a few seconds recharging. Which is something I don't want. So when you're choosing weapons, it's pretty important to consider how much EP they use. Because you basically want to get as much bang for your buck as possible. Hey, there's my nemesis. I didn't really have good stuff last round, so it's not that great of a find. I also beat the level, so yeah, let's get out of here. So you can choose to repair yourself. You get small repairs at the end of every level, but sometimes that doesn't quite cut it. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to see what I picked up. So for instance, this does a lot of damage, but it wastes EP really fast, so it's not really that great to equip. This thing can go for quite a while, so I kind of want to use that. Let's see what my current gun is. Well, so can this one. It's a little better, so let's use that. Generally, guns with wide spreads or weird patterns have higher damage ratings, but they're actually kind of bad because it's just way harder to hit people with them. They also tend to cost more EP, which is not so great. I try to go for just the standard vanilla bullet weapons. Anything that fires continuously and in a relatively straight line. It's a slightly better core. We can also forge things. You spend scrap and select an item. So let's say I want a new gun. Give me something else. I get a rocket launcher, which isn't super great. My appearance also changes as I equip new stuff, which is kind of neat. So lasers are pretty good for dealing damage and clearing out crowds. The only thing is that they are somewhat short range, at least the beams are. The other type is a little bit longer range. I'm sure we'll see one sooner or later. I'm still rocking my melee weapon, but I doubt I'm going to use it. It's kind of useful for bosses, so hopefully I'll use it there, but I'm kind of hoping I pick something better up before then. One down. Also, you notice that enemies drop small white crystals. Those recharge my skill, So I just use my skill, first aid, to heal myself. Now whenever I pick up crystals, my bar will slowly go back up, and I can use it again once I get enough of them. Although it's not really necessary, because the level's done. Not even gonna check out my stuff, let's just move on. A lot of stuff here. Ice levels are kind of annoying because you can't dash across patches of ice, and you slide around a bit. One. Apparently I missed another one somewhere. Ah, there it is. Alright, so we got a boss coming up next. So now is generally a good time to start boosting equipment. So we'll scrap all the stuff we don't need, which is all the stuff for other classes, basically. We'll make sure we have the best guns we can get. Railguns fire way too slow. So for a boss, a good strategy is to have one weapon for shooting the boss, which is a single range weapon or a single enemy weapon, and then have another weapon for clearing out the room, like an explosive weapon. Or you could use a melee weapon instead of an explosive weapon. But I'm gonna... well, let's see. How much damage does my sword do? Not as much as I'd like. Alright, so I'm gonna swap out the melee weapon for the grenade launcher. And then I'll upgrade my armor. Upgrade my gun a bit. And we'll take on the first boss. This boss will periodically spawn minions. It spawns harmless minions, the white guys. Really not so harmless right now, but that's why I got the grenade launcher. And once you damage it enough, you are allowed to make an actual attack against it. And then it goes back to its armor phase. That didn't work out. Grenade launcher is surprisingly not super accurate. Also, this is real bad what is happening right now. Not a fan. One grenade basically costs all my EP, which is super annoying. I probably should have stuck with the sword, but oh well. Hindsight's 20/20 and all that. At least I dropped health, which is kind of nice. Oh boy, that was real close. Usually it goes a lot easier than that. Let's see if I got any good stuff. I got a better melee weapon, so I'm probably going to equip that. Did I get a better gun? Not really. Well, I guess I'll upgrade the one I have. Then we can move on to the next level. So Neurovoider isn't really a hard game unless you're fighting a boss, and then it's a real hard game. But the levels between, the first time you play they'll probably kill you once or twice, but once you get into the hang of it and learn how to play, they're like super easy. Let's try out this new melee weapon. That was a mistake. Apparently it costs a lot of EP. Did not notice that. Melee weapons are also kind of annoying in that they require you to be kind of aiming in the right direction, which, you know, sounds logical, like a logical thing you'd do, but still, it's annoying. So it looks like I got a purple item. That might be nice. the Atomic Fist. So it's better than the sword I have now. Let's see what else I'm rocking here. Disc launcher. It's got a lot of ammo, so that might be good. It's a plasma weapon, though. Plasma weapons are damage over time, which I don't like. I hear their enemies be dead right away. We get anything else? So originally this video was not going to be about Neurovoider. It was going to be about a different game that is probably more technically interesting. I don't know how fun twin stick shooters are to watch. I imagine not very. But I don't like that other game very much. And I like Neurovoider. So I figured, you know, I should actually show off games that are good. And this game's pretty good. So my new melee weapon makes explosions. That's pretty good. Rid of that. And the other one's probably to the left. Although I can take a look up here real quick. Man, that was not a good exchange for me. Alright, time to bail. I'm gonna need to repair myself a bit. And then I will need to scrap some stuff. So there is a reason to keep parts that your class doesn't belong to, and that is if you have the necessary parts, you can transform into a different class, which is something I probably won't be doing, because I like being the dancer. It's fun. I don't really want to do any of that stuff. You know what? I'm going to scrap everything here. That way I can make my plasma pistol better, even, which is probably not a great idea since I'm going to ditch it when I find a bullet weapon. Since I like bullet weapons, but oh well. It's doing me alright for now. So Swarm is a pretty annoying metaverse level, but I do have an explosive weapon, so I should be able to deal with it. The reason it's annoying is probably obvious by now, but there are thousands of these little things that just keep popping up. And if you don't have an explosive weapon, it just takes forever. And they're not particularly dangerous, but it's not particularly fun. But yeah, basically never go into a swarm level unless you have a weapon that will clear areas. I'm getting lots of loot though. And there's the reactor, so I could probably just leave now. Yeah, time to go. That was a worthwhile trip. It's pretty good. I got this thing, which, wow. It'd be a good room cleaning weapon if I didn't already have my melee thing. Yeah, I think I've seen you. I really just want a normal gun though. Like I'm a big fan of normal shooty guns. They're pretty great. None of these are really good. Let's re-roll this thing. That's still pretty bad. I guess we're doing frostbite. This weapon will be good for the boss though, so that makes me happy. I left that thing behind by mistake, but it was terrible anyway. So I got a boss next. Probably gonna need to start upgrading my stuff. Like for instance, upgrading my core. And hoping I can have a decent gun. But no, I can't have nice things. I kind of want to take that thing out. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. It's a bad decision, but I'm gonna do it. This is the second boss. He probably looks familiar. Melee weapons also tend to wreck bosses. So this guy will start spawning champion enemies. Instead of just like the worthless mini enemies. Yeah, I kind of made a mistake. I really should have had a gun that can shoot faster. I don't want to be in the way of that. That's not good. So this is going to take a while. I've made mistakes. Nope. Well, lesson learned. Always bring a fast shooty gun to a boss fight. So that was Neurovoider. It's pretty fun. I enjoy it. It doesn't have quite as much going on with it as some other twin sticks like Enter the Gungeon, but you know, I'm still a fan. That's it.